The only place to buy your new 24-plate Mercedes-Benz is direct from Mercedes-Benz. It's the only place where you'll always find our best offers, like on the A-Class range from £299 a month. Simply talk to the team at your local store or search the online showroom. Order your new 24-plate today. Choose, buy, drive your new Mercedes-Benz.
If you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you'll lose, you're lost. Success begins with a person's will. It's a state of mind.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome. From the four corners of the world, to the four corners of this ring, the fight starts now!
Touch gloves.
How do you like it?
Off the shoulder. So aggressive, so focused.
Look at these two guys! Still the undisputed champion of the world!
Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's press conference day here in the Steel City of Sheffield. This Saturday, live on DAZN, Dalton Smith takes a huge step up in class when he meets three-time world title challenger Jose Zepeda over 12 rounds for the vacant WBC Silver Super Lightweight title. Jamie Ward here, and back alongside me once again, I've missed him, my trusty sidekick, former IBF World Middleweight Champion, Mr. Darren Barker. Darren, first of all, we must thank Everlast for kitting us out for today's live stream, of course, sponsoring all the week's action, our other great sponsors, Forged, Irish Stout, Stagefront, and Betfred. Darren, I must say, I was out in Riyadh with you. What an amazing experience it was. My first time out there, I was watching you from afar with Ade and Barry Jones. I was a little bit jealous, but it feels good to get the band back together.
I missed you. We all missed you, Jay. It's good to be back, mate.
This fight then, Dalton Smith, through 15 fights, it's been fairly immaculate, fairly perfect.
Yep.
What does Jose Zepeda represent for him this weekend in the main event?
Experience, tested at a higher level, a much higher level. But at some point you have to take that step, and I do believe, as many others do, that Dalton's ready. I was listening to Jose Zepeda talk about the styles gelling, and I believe they will. He was saying that he does this for the fans, and the fans are the ones that are going to be the lucky ones, because I agree with Jose. They're going to clash. There's so much on the line here for the winner. It's going to be brilliant.
Well, that is your main event. We've not even mentioned the chief support yet. What a fight that is. Sandy Ryan against Terry Harper. But there is a lot of great fights to look forward to this weekend right here on DAZN. Let's give you a little reminder before the bell begins. 5:15 p.m. we're on air. Darren Barker alongside Junaid Bostan, Barry Jones taking you through all the early action. 5:20 p.m. first bell. 7-0, Steffi Balltrain, Conor Murray joins his stablemates Jimmy Joe Flint and Terry Harper on the card. He meets Edgar Kempski over 6 rounds at middleweight before 19-year-old Lely Buttigieg keeping busy. Third fight for him as a young professional, first 6-rounder as well. He's in with Poland's Bartolomed Strajcek. Our final fight on before the bell sees the return of Sheffield's former Commonwealth middleweight champion Liam Cameron, his first fight since 2018 after a long hiatus from the sport. 6 rounds that one at 175. We'll then cross live to the main broadcast. Usual time of 7 p.m. Mansfield's Nico Lavar steps up to 10 rounds in his 7th professional fight. He fights Southend-on-Sea's Peter Meagher in a final eliminator for the English Super Bantamweight title. Now, 25 years ago, in 1999, Ricky Hatton won the Central Area Super Lightweight title, and this weekend, Son Campbell looks to do the same. Champion, though, Jimmy Joe Flynn, bang up for this in the opposite corner. Big fight for both this Saturday. There's a final eliminator for the British title to look forward to as well, but 154 in what on paper promises fireworks. Ishmael Davis and Troy Williamson meet over 12 before the chief support. What a fight this is. Sandy Ryan defends her WBO World Welterweight crown against Denneby's two-weight world champion Terry Harper. 10 two-minute rounds, that one, at 147. Before the return of thunder, Sheffield's own Dalton Smith looks to break onto the world stage in style when he meets a hungrier than ever three-time world title challenger Jose Zepeda in what was a big step up. Over 12 rounds, vacant WBC silver super lightweight title on the line in your main event. Now, as you can see, the fighters are ready behind me. Here to get today's press conference underway, Mr. Eddie Hearn.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Steel City, Sheffield, ahead of a brilliant night of boxing on Saturday, live and exclusive on DAZN around the world. Of course, all we ever want as fight fans is a competitive night of boxing. We've got that on Saturday. 5 fights on the TV card, every one of them arguably a 50-50 matchup. Of course, we've got a brilliant World Championship fight between two of Britain's biggest stars in female boxing, with Sandy Ryan defending her WBO title against Terry Harper, looking to become a three-time, three-division world champion. Big steps up for some of our prospects, great domestic clashes as well, and of course, a stunning main event between, I believe, one of the future stars of not just British but world boxing in Dalton Smith against this man to my left, one of the most dangerous fighters at 140 in Jose Zepeda. Seen him in some classics stateside, some big upsets, and this is a huge step up for Dalton Smith on Saturday. As I said, live and exclusive around the world on DAZN, as they really do continue to become and establish themselves as the global home of boxing. Just a couple of weeks ago, of course, Francis Ngannou against Anthony Joshua doing huge numbers on the platform. Ryan Garcia against Devin Haney coming up live on DAZN. Tyson Fury against Alexander Usyk coming up live on DAZN. Jaime Munguia against Canelo Alvarez coming up live on DAZN, of course, as well as our UK schedule, our American schedule as well, and on a fantastic run at the moment. I'm going to pass over to Alfie Sharman to say a few words on behalf of DAZN.
Yeah, thanks, Eddie. Hello, everyone. It's great to be surrounded by outstanding fighters, a brilliant undercard. There's lots of chat around Dalton Smith at the moment, and deservedly so. He's an outstanding prospect, destined for the world stage, I'm sure. But Saturday presents probably one of his toughest fights to date. Jose Zepeda is a world-level fighter. Wish the best of luck to both men. As Eddie said, we're in an amazing run at the moment at DAZN. The 4 major shows that I'll talk to you about now are, DAZN is the only place to see them. Haney Garcia, Canelo Alvarez versus Jaime Munguia, Fury Usyk, and Taylor Catterall as well, the rematch there, plus so many others every week. We're incredibly busy at the moment, and fundamentally very proud to be delivering this unmatched schedule to our customers and sports fans all around the world. I've said this many times recently, but it's true, so I'll say it again. It's a wonderful time to be a boxing fan, and it's great for us at DAZN to be at the heart of it. So ahead to Saturday, as I say, best of luck to everyone up here. See the next chapter in Dalton Smith's career live on DAZN. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Alfie. Before we go to those 5 TV fights, of course, before the bell action getting us off, before we go to the main card, and 3 fighters are very important fights and nights on Saturday. We'll start with Conor Murray. Conor, welcome. Of course, a lot of your stable mates on the card as well. Big opportunity for you on Saturday, looking to push forward for a title shot in 2024, but ready to go on Saturday night.
Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing to get this opportunity and get the shout to be on the card. You rang up, said that you were looking for a good-looking, bald-headed lad to fight on the show, and you couldn't find no one, so here I am.
Obviously, as well, as I said, a lot of stable mates on the card as well in big fights, hoping for a clean sweep for the team.
Absolutely. Everyone's been training really hard. Everyone's been smashing it at the gym, so looking forward to getting 3 wins for the Steffi Bull gym.
Oh, good luck on Saturday. Liam Cameron. Liam, a guy that has been looking for an opportunity on these cards. Quite an incredible story, quite an incredible comeback. You're looking in better shape every time I see you. A big crowd on Saturday for you, and of course a whole host of Sheffield fighters. Welcome to the card, and looking forward to another victory, getting back to championship honours.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I've done about 200 tickets on 2 weeks' notice, so I'm just buzzing to be here, to be fair. training hard. Let's get the knockout.
Obviously, your story is an inspirational one, and that comeback, and physically now, as I said, looking stronger and stronger. What do you feel 2024 holds for you?
I want that British title, super middleweight. I'll fight anyone. So just keep chipping away with Pearson Grant. Let's see where it takes me. Thank you for having me on the show.
Well, looking forward to seeing you in action on Saturday, as I am this man, Laley. Welcome back. I think one of our brightest young prospects, just 19 years of age. Tremendous camp there with Al Smith and Eddie Lamb. Already a couple of great performances. Ready for number 3, Laley, on Saturday night?
Yeah, definitely ready for number 3. Staying active is what I need. I'm smashing it in the gym all the time, sparring well, so the fights to keep me progressing, that's what I need.
Obviously, the plan for such a young fighter is to bring them forward slowly, but everything that we hear out of the gym, you know, fighting experienced guys, hard rounds of sparring, and looking like you're really starting to become a moulded pro now.
Yeah, definitely. I'm on a roll now. I'm 2-0. It was good to get the 4 rounds in on my last fight. But stepping up to 6 this time, you're going to see even better version of myself when I break this guy down Saturday.
Well, looking forward to seeing your first 6-rounder on Saturday. We go to the TV card now. As I said, 5 very, very well-matched fights, particularly this one, Nico Livias against Pietro Mega. A great fight, eliminator for the English title. Pietro, welcome. This fight, all-action fight, you and Nico, neither of you guys take a step back. A massive fight for your career, opening the broadcast on Saturday.
Support I'm going to have today on Saturday as well, and I've won the area last year. I've set myself a goal to win the English this year. The first step is on Saturday, so I can't wait.
Obviously, first time on a big TV show, live on the broadcast. What can fans expect from you? We've seen Nico on Before the Bell, all-action fighter, big support as well. Expect to bring the heat on Saturday?
Yeah, I'm all ready for Saturday, so I'm just going to get the job done.
Nico, welcome. Great fight last time out as well. Tough fight, a couple of cuts as well. Now moving up, eliminator for the English title, a tough fight, but opening the broadcast live on DAZN, by far the biggest moment of your career so far.
Yeah, looking forward to it. You know, obviously with it being eliminated for the English title, there's a carrot being dangled, and obviously I can't overlook Saturday night. I've got a job to do, got a good opponent in front of me, but prepared well in the gym and ready for anything. 10
rounds as well, excited
to
hopefully, well maybe go the distance as well, and we know your opponent fit, strong, going to be a good mix of styles.
Yeah, more than ready for that. You know, been doing the rounds in the gym, been sparring 12 rounds some days, so you know, more than ready for the 10 if it needs to come to that.
Well, good luck to both. Eliminator for the English title on Saturday. This one, the Central Area title. I can't wait for this fight. Campbell Hatton against Jimmy Joe Flint. Of course, Jimmy Joe, the champion, Central Area champion, and for Campbell, 25 years ago since his father won this belt. It's the first big step up of his career. We cannot wait. Campbell, firstly, the challenger. This is it, mate. This is where it gets really exciting. You've had the apprenticeship, if you like. You've come through that. You've had some hard tasks ahead, some tough nights in front of 60, 70,000. Now, the first championship fight of your career on Saturday.
Yeah, we've had the learning fights. It's fight 15 now, and I think it's the perfect time. Fight I think I'm more than ready for. I'm prepared really well. First title fight, and I think any fighter in this position will say the same, that you get that little bit more out of yourself. So it's been a grueling few weeks, and Saturday night it's all going to be worth it.
A lot of people feel that you're going to look better, you're going to do better in these fights where you're in with a fighter that is coming forward, that is trying to win, that does have ambition. Do you feel that as well? Sometimes you're in with these guys who might have an awkward style, trying to survive. You know, this is a lot of people dressing this up as a real 50-50 fight on Saturday.
Yeah, I think it's going to bring the best out of me. I think I'm expecting a tough fight, and I think we've got a good clash of styles where we're both going to come to have it. So I think it could be fight of the night. And again, I think I'm expecting a tough fight. I've prepared for a tough fight, but I think it is going to bring the best out of me, and we're going to see the best version of Campbell Hatton.
Jimmy Joe, welcome. You had an opportunity a while ago on a big card. You got a bigger one this time now coming in as champion against Campbell Hatton. It's a high-profile fight, big crowd on Saturday. You've got a lot coming yourself. As I've seen from Steffi Ball's Instagram, you look bang up for it and really ready for this fight.
Yeah, I've known about this fight for a long time. Campbell says he knows he's in for an hard fight, and I'm glad you do, mate, because I'm going to give you the hardest night of your life from start to finish. I'll be there, and I'm ready for it.
You know that obviously Campbell Hatton's come with a lot of hype. Sometimes he's had a little bit of criticism he's had to learn. Do you feel that you're just too good for Campbell Hatton, too strong? What department do you feel favours you on Saturday?
Listen, I'm not going to throw him under the bus. Criticism in boxing, it's hard enough, but Saturday night I will prove all the critics right. People are forgetting I'm the champion and I'm here through hard work, dedication and determination. He may have had the silver spoon because of who his dad is. People say that. I haven't, mate. I've been force-fed with a shovel and I'm here to prove what I can do.
Plenty of support for you on Saturday night as well, but this is a fit, strong young man. He's going to bring it. It should be a cracking fight.
Listen, I'm not going to sell over 400 tickets to come and roll over. I'm here to fight, mate, and I'm here to stay.
Campbell, final word from you as well. Game opponent. He's bang up for it. It's what you want, isn't it? Sounds like it's going to be a lively one.
Yeah, that's what we want. That's what I expect. He's coming in there as the champion. I wouldn't expect anything less, and I hope he comes into the fight with the same energy.
Listen, my energy's going nowhere, mate. From start to finish, I'll be there. Not a problem. I'm still.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
We'll see.
We'll see. I'm not going nowhere, mate. Whenever, wherever, however. You can have it however you want it.
And that's coming to Manchester.
We'll see. We'll see. I'll put a stop to that. You're not your dad, kid.
Don't need to be.
No, we'll see. Like I say, you're not your daddy, he can't fight for you.
Don't need him to fight for me,
Meet me in the middle, mate. Just meet me in the middle, not a problem. We'll see. I'm still.
Right, you two will go head to head in a minute. I love it. By the way, I love these kind of fights. I love it. It's absolutely must win for both of you on Saturday night. Good luck, fellas. Good luck. We go to the top table now, and again, 3 fights up here that, again, you talk about Nico's fight, you talk about Campbell against Jimmy Joe, 2 50-50 fights. Up here, arguably 3 more 50-50 fights on Saturday. This is a top card. This fight I love. It's a final eliminator for the British title. Ishmael Davis against Troy Williamson. Ishmael, who we had on the card previously. Sonny Edwards, who I'm sure is here somewhere, just wouldn't leave us alone about Ishmael. He got the opportunities, we say. Winner stays on. There he is, Sonny. How are you? And the opportunity arises. Troy Williamson is a real great example of why you don't have to just try and protect an undefeated record in boxing. He's given us so many great fights over the years. We know the style. We know he's going to entertain fans and viewers. Last time out, he lost in a close fight. He gets another big opportunity. Troy, we'll start with you. You love it. The fans love you. You guys have shared hundreds of rounds of sparring. What should we expect on Saturday night?
Fireworks. I respect Ishmael. I respect his team. We're very similar people. I think outside the ring we're family men. And we train really hard, dedicate our life to the sport. But come Saturday night, we've got to put friendship aside and get down to business.
Obviously, when we talk about diving in for opportunity after opportunity, fans love it, we love excitement, but obviously what you don't want to do is start to rack up too many defeats. You're not a guy that comes into the sport with no amateur pedigree. You're an outstanding amateur with GB, and although you've had some good wins, you don't want to go on a run of losses. So this is a very important fight for your career on Saturday.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely. People forget. Like, I've lost twice in 23 fights against 2 elite fighters, Josh Kelly and Kevin. Due to no fault of my own, obviously I've just picked up injuries, which is unfortunate. We're in a professional sport where that happens. I think the last time out, I thought I was boxing really well. The momentum was going my way. It felt like he was very uncomfortable in there, and my shoulder subluxed in round 5. I've never came out publicly and mentioned it because I don't think I need to. But that fight should have been won. So I'm taking a lot of confidence from that because I felt great, felt fit, felt strong. Just some unluckily happening on the night. But we're here again today, and Saturday night I'm going to feel good, feel strong, fit, and I'm ready to go to get back to winning ways and on the road to become a 2-time British champion.
He says that he feels he's levels above you, but what does he do well? You've sparred together. He's slick, and he's, you know, looks like a very talented fighter as well. Do you have to be the Troy Williamson in there, go into the deep waters? You know, can he stick it in there with the small gloves at that level?
I've proven that I can go to the deep waters. He hasn't yet. But obviously going off the spars, I know that he can. He's a warrior like myself, so everybody's in for a treat for a fight night. It's going to be a great fight, but I know how tough he is. I know how slick he is. But yeah, the best me believes I beat the best of him, and we're going to show that Saturday night.
Ishmael, welcome. Smile on your face. I will say, last time out, you did look great, but this is well beyond those levels that you fought at last time. You guys have shared, as I said, hundreds of rounds, sparring. You know, we always hear stories, but you believe you have too much for this man who is proven certainly at beyond domestic level, really.
Yeah, well, obviously, like, I respect Troy. Like he said, he's my boy. But for 12 rounds, we're going to go to war. But I just feel like I'm a better boxer, and it's going to be a sick fight, Eddie. Like, you need to be ready for a sick fight. Really, I think you should be putting a knockout bonus on there, because there's going to be a knockout, I tell you. Because like you said, in sparring, it's not but fireworks. People had paid to watch the spars. But the last time we sparred was a long time ago, and I hadn't left the gym, so I'm ready to put on a good show, man, and just prove my worth.
Obviously, we know how Troy likes to fight. He's very aggressive, fast tempo. You're ready to mix it with him as well. We know you're slick. He says you're tough as well. But you're going to give the fans what they want as well. I know Sonny will want you to be smart, and the team will want you to be smart, but we want to see the action as well. We're going to get it. Yeah, well, you know what it is. What I say is boxing is not just about engine. You need brain, so that's what I'll be using on Saturday. And I've got the engine anyway. It's a standard, you get me? Every boxer should be fit, and I'm always in the gym, so if we need to go into deep waters, I'll be ready to go into deep waters for 12 rounds. A lot of tickets sold again on Saturday night. A great win last time. This is a fight of a completely different level. You win this, it's British title next. You know, could be a real life-changing opportunity for you on Saturday. Listen, there's only one winner, and that's me, so I'll see you Saturday night. Well, Ishmael Davis against Troy Williamson, final eliminator for the British title. This one, just a brilliant, brilliant fight. World Championship on the line between, as I said, two real great ambassadors for British boxing. When you talk about the rise of female boxing, these two have been there for a long time. Sandy Ryan, who has dedicated her life to the sport through Team GB, and of course, since then, coming out, winning the World Welterweight Championship, suffered defeat early on by really jumping in the deep end, maybe before she was ready. An immediate rematch, she won that fight, she went on to win the World Championship. Should have been the unified world champion in Orlando. I think we all agree she was robbed of that glory, that moment, and now she gets a chance of a big fight on the domestic stage against a fighter who really has been there and seen it and done it all from the beginning of the resurgence of British boxing and women's boxing as well, in Terry Harper. This, of course, an opportunity for Terry Harper to become a 3-time, 3-division world champion, and every time she's claimed one of those belts, she's beaten a champion to do it. And I think sometimes, you know, there's a perception that it's easy or easier to win a world championship in the female code. Terry Harper has faced the champions continuously. She'll do it again on Saturday. Terry, welcome. This fight made so much sense, but sometimes those fights just don't end up happening. You know, this is a great fight, not just for female boxing, but for British boxing. Doncaster, Sheffield as well, of course, against Derby. Two big fan bases, lots of tickets sold. A moment of history beckons for you on Saturday.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, a massive thank you to Sandy. Obviously, she's come off the controversial draw with McCaskill, and she's given me this opportunity. The carrot's really there being dangled in front of me, and I've done everything I can this camp to being the best shape physically and mentally to go out there on Saturday night and do what I need to do to come out victorious and be a 3-weight world champion.
Obviously, we saw the jump to 154, but everybody knows you're not a 154 fighter. Back to 147. We know you can go lighter at 140 as well, but must be feeling good and strong at the weight at welterweight.
Yeah, definitely. Even when I used to make 9 stone 4, whenever I got down to 10-7 in training, I was always having my best performances in sparring and on the pads and stuff. And this camp, I've been able to hold at 10-7 and just feel comfortable and really enjoy my training and not being food focused and stuff like that, and just focused on one job that I'm here to do.
Obviously, when people are breaking down this fight, they talk about your boxing skills, the movement as well. We know Sandy can do a bit of everything as well, and she's excellent at it, but she's also strong, will be walking down. A lot of people think that's how this fight may play out. She'll be very aggressive, trying to walk you down. You'll be boxing, and we'll have to stand and fight as well. Should be a great clash of styles.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like this camp I've had a light bulb moment where something's just clicked. I've been having, I know everyone says it, but I have really been having the best spars of my career, and this camp I've really, as an athlete, I always get myself in the best physical shape possible, but one thing I've always neglected from my beginning of my career is the mental side of things. And I keep joking, I said I've read 4 books and it's completely changed my life, just how I view my boxing career and my personal life, and I feel like I'm a much more positive person to be around, and I've got a lot more self-belief, and I'm quietly confident I'm going to get the job done on Saturday night, and I'm very confident that I'm going to have career best performance.
I know these guys to your left were talking about sparring. They've sparred hundreds of rounds. There's been a lot of talk in the build-up to this fight about the spars. Obviously, as we always hear, there's different stories. You feel like you got the best of the spar. Sandy feels like she got the best of the spar as well. But having been in there with her, confident that you become a 3-time world champion on Saturday?
Yeah, 100%. I can remember when Andrew told me he's got me some sparring with Sandy, and I'm like, oh my God. Obviously, I used to look up at Sandy as like this superhuman, and I can remember the first time getting in the ring with her, and I think that's when it really clicks that I am a great fighter and I can hold my own against these top-level fighters, and I came away from them spars with so much confidence, and obviously that were a couple of years back now, but I feel like I've been in the gym and I've been improving constantly, and I'm just excited to get out there at this new weight and this new opportunity that's in front of me on Saturday night and get a good win for everyone who's coming out to support me.
Sandy, welcome. Welcome home, I guess. Welcome back. And, you know, I saw the early part of your camp in Las Vegas when I was there, and, you know, the moments looked like you might be throwing up in the ring. They were working you so hard, those hard runs in the mountains. Yeah. New team, new setup. You've really made the sacrifices following the McCaskill fight. That's over now, that's done. Massive fight for you on Saturday. You ready to perform?
Yeah, I'm ready. And, yeah, like you say, the sacrifices, new team, going away across the pond, like so far away. And like Harper said yesterday, that she feels like this is the best time to catch me because I may be unsettled. And if she thinks that, she's very wrong, because it just shows the different mindsets that I could do this, and I don't believe that she could have done that, and she'll need Steffi to hold her hand throughout our training camp, so she wouldn't be able to do what I've just done. So there I got a little insight on what she said there, but I do respect her as a fighter. She does know that, and but she's trying to take what's mine, and I can't let that happen. Can't let her take what's mine. The big fights, I've got big fights ahead of me win this Saturday, big paydays, and yeah, I can't let her take food off my table.
A lot of people, like I said, when they're analysing this fight, you've really done a little bit of everything in your career. Sometimes, especially early on, we've seen you really aggressive, walking fighters down, looking to get them out there. We know you can box off the back foot when you need it. You did that in the rematch really well, and bits and pieces of everything. Do you feel like that's what's going to be the difference in this fight, is your aggression and your strength? Do you expect to walk Terry down, and do you think you can stop her on Saturday night?
I believe so. I believe deep down she knows that as well. If she wants to sit on her back foot, and then I'll take it to her, and I do what I need to do to win the fight. Like I say, I've said throughout the camp, she's a great fighter. I respect her, but respectfully, there ain't been no respect in the ring because, like I say, I can't let her take what's mine. So I will dog walk her if I have to get this win. So whatever it takes, believe me, I have no doubt in my mind that I'm going to be victorious on Saturday.
And my final question to you about the famous spar, which we've heard a lot about in this camp as well. Everyone's got their different opinions, but you take confidence from that spar as well as the confidence that she apparently took as well. So I guess it's all irrelevant, is it? And we'll just find out on Saturday. It
is kind of irrelevant, but then when you're sparring, like fighters know, when you do spar a lot, you do have an insight, and you do kind of know. But it's different on fight night. But you do know, and I know deep down she knows. But I don't know about the deep waters, Harper. I don't know, when you say you're going to take me to deep waters, can you explain that? Come on.
So I really feel like you've took that comment and really blown it out of the water. You've took it a lot deeper than what it is. I kind of said that as just
because I was shocked. I
said that as I know that I'm your toughest opponent that you've faced today, and I know I'm gonna be making you answer a lot of questions in that ring, and that's all.
I know that you've trained your hardest because obviously you know what's coming, and so I do respect that. But yeah, I was kind of a little bit shocked, but we'll see.
For me, I see that as like the way it's triggered you that much, just that little comment. For me, that screams insecure, and the fact that you're having to go on to socials to get that reassurance at all times. I feel like you really just need to focus on yourself and focus on your training and just chill out a little bit.
I'm not been reassuring myself on social media. I hardly ever post nowadays. I post the odd time of training stuff, and that's about it.
That'll do.
Okay. We go to the...
But do you believe I'm unsettled because I've got a new team?
No, I just...
Well, you said that.
I said in an interview down there, says it's one of two things. Sandy's got that mindset. She's left everything behind. She's left a family, all the distractions, and she's...
You need Steffi to help you talk.
Yeah, Andrew, help me, please. I'm joking.
Steffi, she needs help. Oh, great.
Final prediction from both. Terry, I know that the standard answer is by any means necessary, etc., but questions of, I guess, from Sandy about your true belief in this fight. You truly believe you will become a three-time, three-division world champion in Sheffield on Saturday? Yeah,
100%. I'm not going into this fight if I didn't believe that, and I've had a great camp, and honestly, I'm enjoying this full week, and I'm excited to get out there on Saturday night and just put on a great performance for everyone who's come out to support me. And I think for me, it's just all about having a good performance.
Sandy, no doubts in your mind the sacrifices that you've made, the disappointment in the McCaskill defeat, that must still burn you up a little bit. But Saturday night, you proved to the world that you're the best 147-pounder out there.
100%. And then you can go back up to 54. You still got your belt up there, don't forget. That's why she wanted it at 47, but that's another story. But yeah, I can't wait for Saturday night, and you're going to be in for a treat.
Well, thank you both. Brilliant fight. Of course, as we said, Doncaster against Derby, WBO World Welterweight Championship, the co-main event on Saturday night. Now we go to the main event of the evening, and you know it's a great fight when people on the ground, people in boxing, members of the media start messaging me and saying, you know, this is a really interesting fight. This is a dangerous fight. We know it's a dangerous fight. We want a dangerous fight. This is a massive step up for Dalton Smith. As we said previously, in my opinion, one of the rising stars of British boxing, someone that is about to catapult himself, if he's victorious, to top 5, maybe even contention to fight for the World Championship next through winning the vacant WBC silver title. We know this guy very, very well. Stunning performances in America, of course, against Barancic, against Jose Vargas, where he knocked him clean out at Madison Square Garden. I believe he should have already become a world champion when he beat Jose Ramirez. This guy has been there, seen it, done it all. And this is a real challenge for Dalton Smith. Jose, welcome.
Thank you.
I'm really glad you took this fight. I know that you've been involved in some massive fights. There's something very special about fighting in the UK. I think you're going to love it. This kid is very, very good. I say kid, he's a man, of course, but a kid to me, I'm getting on. But he is relatively inexperienced at world level. You've pointed that out. Too much, too soon? You look in great shape, ready to fight on Saturday.
Hi, I am in great shape. I've been here before when I fought for the World Championship in 2017 against Terry Flanagan, I believe. Very bad experience. I was happy when they told me about this fight. Thank you for the opportunity, to Dalton team for the opportunity. I'm glad to take it. All I'm looking for this fight is my 4th opportunity for the world title. I know I've been close, like you say. And about Dalton, I've seen him. He's he's a young fighter. He's stepping up because he wants to see if he's in the top level. And I guess we're just gonna have to see on Saturday. I don't believe there's no need to be a lot of talking. Or I think everybody that knows my career know that I give it all inside the ring. So I'm gonna do the same. I am 100% ready, and I'm happy to be here. I'm enjoying every moment.
I remember, of course, and you've referenced to it, the likes of another talked about prospect in Jose Vargas, of course, who you eliminated from that prospects or world scene as well. I guess you never know whether it's time till you make the step, and that's what Dalton will find out on Saturday.
Yeah, I said it before. Everybody finds out when you step up a level. I remember when I fought Ramirez, it was the first time that I stepped in the top level. In the first round, as soon as I throw the jab, I knew I was in there on another level. I think he's gonna find out soon. And like I say, I give him props for jumping that high, him and his team. And if he believes it, well, we're gonna see on Saturday. All I could tell you is that I'm 100% ready. I'm focused on that 4th opportunity world title.
I heard some of the comments from you where you talk about, defeat could be the end of the road. Is that sometimes people think that might be a fighter that's coming to the end of the career. Knowing you, is that just the extra pressure that you're putting on yourself to perform? I know you're coming into this fight 100%, but you know how important victory is for your career, and you say dreams of challenging for that world championship again.
Yeah, at this point of my career, I'm only looking for big fights, for another title or another big fight. And I know if I lose this fight, I won't get that. And I have said that if I lose this fight, you might not see me in the boxing anymore. But what I haven't said is that with all honesty, this is my best camp in my entire career. I'm at 34 years old. It was my best camp. I did everything twice as hard. And that is because I want to win and I want to get that 4th opportunity for the title. So like I say, there's no need to be a lot of talking. I believe I seen one of his fights, and the styles are gonna clash, and it's gonna be an exciting fight. The people are gonna end up winning on this one.
Well, I know you're never in a bad fight, and you'll get it from this man. Dalton, welcome. Good news is, best camp of his life. No excuses. It's not going to be a fading Jose Zepeda. It's not going to be someone that's coming here to retire. It's someone that's coming to win, who's had the camp of his career, and that's what you want. A real fight, a real moment for you in Sheffield on Saturday night.
Of course, Eddie, and that's not why we've took this fight. We haven't seen Jose as a sliding fighter. He's only lost at the world level. None of his losses have been on the way down. So that's why we've took this fight. We're prepared for the best of Jose. Like he says, he's only in for the biggest opportunities now, the biggest fights. So you know, his career's on the line for this fight, and like I said, this is a step up for me, and it's the opportunity for me to propel my career onto the world level.
When you talk about step ups, I mean, it was only when I was talking in an interview earlier where I said that probably on paper, perhaps the best win of your career so far is Sam Maxwell, who is a very good fighter, you know, a guy who's definitely domestic level, but this is, you know, not one level above Sam Maxwell, this is many, many levels above him, and it's a real jump in class.
Yeah, it's definitely a jump, but, you know, you see the level where I've progressed through. You know, I've been ready for that jump probably 2 fights ago. So, you know, this is the perfect time for me now to, you know, like I said, propel my career onto that next level, chasing those bigger things. And like I say, I'm confident. I've had, you know, one of the best camps of my career. So, you know, like you say, it's going to be, the fans are going to be in a treat for this fight.
Yeah, you say that, and this man, one of the most exciting fighters at 140. We know you love to be involved in exciting fights. You do love to take chances as well, but I'm sure your dad will be having you disciplined for this one because a huge puncher as well in the division.
Yeah, massive puncher, you know, but so am I. So it's, like you say, it's going to be one hell of a fight. And I believe I've got the better boxing brain. Of course, any fight, what you're going to, you've got to be switched on. You can't just, you know, switch off. That's how, you know, you lose in boxing. Switch off for a second, that's where you lose. So, you know, 12 rounds, I'm switched on. You know, my biggest performance so far in my career, and yeah, can't wait to show you all.
And of course, finally, the added bonus of this championship belt, the WBC silver title, will put you within the top 5, maybe higher. You've got, you know, another 140 star at Matchroom, Richardson Hitchens fighting in an IBF eliminator, final eliminator for Subriel Matias. This is going to put you right up there, and if that belt becomes vacant after Haney Garcia for Sandor Martin, could even put you in line for a shot at the green and gold belt.
Exactly, and you know, it's like I say, it's the WBC silver, and it's, you know, it's, for me, it's one of my favorite belts, and you know, one I've always looked towards. So, like you say, it's big opportunity for me here to, you know, move my career along, and like you say, it's pushing closer to a world title. And, you know, it's the same situation for Jose, so, you know, can't wait.
Well, it's a crossroads fight on Saturday night, England versus Mexico. And how many times have we seen that international matchup create fireworks in the ring? You will see it live on DAZN around the world on Saturday night from 7 p.m, the main card. Sit down and enjoy a night of tremendous 50-50 action. It's going to be a great, great card, and we're going to face all the fighters off now before they're available to the media. Thank you, and we'll see you for the weigh-in tomorrow.
Well, just before we go to the face-offs here, the first time in Fight Week, the countdown well and truly on. Here's a little reminder of what is coming up on DAZN, the home of boxing.
Hey champ, I know why you're here. You're a born winner, the top dog. You have a proper punch on you. It only takes one, eh? But I know you're not all about throwing haymakers. You know your bobs from your weaves, and you know DAZN's got over 100 live events every year. Over 100. Proper stack. All the action, the chaos, the comebacks, the non-stop knockout. Big fights every week. So get those gloves back on. Together, we're boxing royalty. DAZN, undisputed.
Well, Darren, when you watch these press conferences, I'm always listening intently because I feel like from a broadcast perspective, it's always a good indication of what's going through a fighter's mind, their mindset, their mentality. What did you think of what you heard there this afternoon?
Extremely confident fighters. Dalton Smith understands what is in front of him. Zepeda knows equally this is a very important fight. A loss here, like Eddie said there, it's a very hard comeback trail for Zepeda, who's challenged for titles. He's been at that level. A loss here, so that makes it exciting because he's going to give it everything. It's a brilliant card, top to bottom.
Well, there is Lely Buttigieg just in your shot there before the bell action underway from 5:15 p.m. before the bell. Darren, as I said, taking you through all the commentary duty from ringside. What a treat for the listeners. Turn your volume down. Live broadcast this opening the card. Nico Lavar's first 10 rounder for him. Only 24, Darren, suffered some difficult periods with cuts and injury, seemingly looking to speed things up a bit in 2024.
Yeah, really like this fight. Two exciting fighters with so much to gain with a victory on Saturday night.
Well, that English super bantamweight title currently held by Zahid Hussain, the winner of Lavar's Mirga, looking to lock in their shot, that final eliminator for the English super bantamweight title, opening the live card. And it's followed by this. What a great fight this is. One by Matthew Hatton, one by Ricky Hatton. Big moment for Campbell to etch his own name into the history books.
This is sink or swim. The time is now to capture your first title as a professional. Flint is a very good fighter. He knows how to fight. He knows how to win these big fights and win titles. So yes, there's experience there. There's youth, there's freshness, there's momentum with Campbell. So much to like about this fight.
A little bit of verbals as well. I think Eddie Hearn enjoyed that. Stone cold face-off though. Jimmy Joe Flint, trained of course by Steffi Ball. Bang up for this, as you heard. Just one defeat in 16 fights, which came for the Central Area title up at 147 in 2021 on a Matchroom show. Now this next fight, Eddie Hearn was smiling when he read out the intros. Ishmael Davis looked good against Ewan McKenzie, didn't he, Darren? You were impressed with him last November. Troy Williamson looking to rebuild after that defeat to Kevin Ajako in December. An important fight. You said sink or swim for Campbell Hatton there. This is a big fight for both of these guys.
Very, very similar in this contest. We know how good Williamson is. Fought at that level. He's been a British champion. Davis has looked very good. Like you said, against McKeown, he was very pleasing on the eye with his style. But now we find out if he can go to the next level.
Well, Sam Gilly and Louis Green ordered to rematch for that vacant British title at super welterweight. But this one, what a fight this is.
What a fight.
WBO World Champion Sandy Ryan, former WBC World Super Featherweight Champion, former WBA World Super Welterweight Champion. 24-pound difference, the two divisions. Terry Harper won world titles in, but what do you like about this one?
Everything, absolutely everything. Stylistically, this fight is going to gel. What is on the line will make it that much more entertaining. Two very, very good fighters who really believe this is their time to shine. Love this fight, very, very entertaining.
And we get ready for the main event face-off now. Dalton Smith, Jose Zepeda. Lots of respect between these two, Darren. But this is a real significant step up for Dalton Smith. And like we were saying in the build-up, you know, Jose Zepeda is full of hunger here. But, you know, when you look at these fighters saying, if I lose, I could retire, what do you make of that? Does that make him more dangerous in some ways?
Yeah, he doesn't want his career to end. He wants to continue. And Dalton Smith has looked so good, and I tell you what, he's looked very good against southpaws. Could that be a big factor going into this fight? Zepeda, we've seen very good, tons of experience, can bang, he can really, really punch. But like I say, Dalton Smith has momentum, has class, and a lot of ambition.
You get the feeling he wants to really win in style as well. I think he keeps saying explode onto the world stage. I don't think banking 12 rounds against Zepeda I don't think he'll be happy with that. I get the feeling he really wants to make a statement here and do what others haven't been able to do.
I feel Dalton Smith always wants to do that. We've seen him before in the past when he's gone the distance. There's a little bit of disappointment on the face of Dalton Smith, and I like that. I like that he wants to please, and that shows also an extremely confident fighter that believes that he should be dispatching these fighters, and he still believes that against Zepeda, who's fought at that high level. So yeah, I like that. I think the most important thing is a win, but you want to do so in looking good. So
well, lots of big fights coming up on DAZN. Perhaps though doesn't get much bigger than this one.
Live on DAZN worldwide May 18th. The fight of the century. Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. Tyson Fury looks to reign as king of the division. But Alexander Usyk is undefeated and coming for the crown. For the first time in over 20 years, all the belts are on the line. Ring of Fire, live on DAZN worldwide, May 18th.
Well, just like magic, promoter Eddie Hearn has joined me and Darren Barker in our beautiful brand new studio, by the way. We're really moving. Budget's gone wild. Eddie, sometimes I can tell when you enjoy a press conference. That was interesting, the verbals across the table. Normally it waits for the face-off, but what did you enjoy about that one?
You know what, because I've been thinking about the card a lot since it was made, and Tom Dallas has done a great job with the matchmaking for this. Not just, of course, with the main event and Sandy Ryan against Terry Harper, but the other three fights on the card as well. Ishmael Davis against Troy Williamson, great fight. Campbell Hatton against Jimmy. That's definitely for me my fight of the night, because I just don't know what's going to happen, and I've actually got a really good feeling that you're going to see a great performance from Campbell Hatton, because he's had a load of stick and sometimes he's been poor, but if he loses on Saturday night for the Central Area title, it's an absolute disaster for him. And Jimmy Joe Flint will just come, like he's trained like an absolute Trojan for this fight. Like it's the opportunity of his life on Saturday night. And by the way as well, don't miss out on Nico Leviars against Pritchard, which will be an absolute tear-up. So I just know that I'm going to sit ringside on Saturday and watch a brilliant night of 50-50 championship boxing, which is what we want. And I know they're going to enjoy it at home. And you know, I'm really excited. And I think the main event sometimes gets overlooked just in terms of the step up. Yeah. Like, it's only when you look at, like I said, on paper, that Sam Maxwell is the toughest fight of Dalton's career so far. Yeah. This is so many levels above Sam Maxwell.
Talk to me then about that process, the matchmaking process. Tom Dallas, like you say, done a brilliant job. When you look at someone like Zepeda, I've been doing my prep for this, as I always do, and I've seen how good Dalton Smith fights against southpaws. Has that ever been a factor that you look at in this, or is it more about the ranking and the pedigree?
If you're fighting a southpaw, you want to know that the fighter is comfortable and has had that experience through his career. You've got to be able to handle all styles. I think with Zepeda, you know you're getting the name value, you know you're getting the international credibility, you know you're getting a Hispanic fan base in America watching in. You know, this is going to be broadcast, of course, around the world on DAZN. But also, you're getting a WBC silver title, you're getting all those things. But what you're fighting is a puncher, right? So that's where the danger comes in, because sometimes you get a name that's got name value, but they're not really that dangerous because they're not a big puncher. You're talking about a guy that, whether he's past his best or not, and he probably is from 3 or 4 years ago, he's still a huge puncher.
That's the last thing
I mean, this was the guy who went in with Jose Vargas, who was one of Top Rank's top young prospects, and completely iced him at Madison Square Garden. And that wasn't long ago. You know, he got outboxed by Richardson Hitchens, but Hitchens didn't also really want to get involved because, as he told me when I got in the ring, he felt the power early on. And he thought, I'm just going to school this guy. Yeah. Dalton won't do that. Dalton will excite, Dalton will entertain, Dalton will trade at times. If you get hit by this guy, you are going to know about it. And that's why this fight's exciting, because if this guy wasn't a puncher, you just think Dalton was too sharp at this stage in his career. But Dalton has been hit quite a bit consistently, even in these other fights. And he's got to be razor sharp on Saturday night, because this is well beyond the levels that he's boxed.
So what do you do though with Dalton after, say everything goes well and Dalton gets the win? What's the plan for Dalton? Because he'll have that belt, the WBC silver belt. What is the plan after?
One of the reasons that we took that belt into consideration was because of the likelihood of it freeing up in the next 6 months. You know, the winner of Haney Garcia has to fight Sandor Martin. It's not a fight that those guys really want. It's not going to give you a big payday. It's horrible, it's awkward. But Dalton Smith would jump at a fight with Sandor Martin for the WBC title. This fight's going to put you definitely in the top 5. Could it put you number 3? Could it put you number 2? You've got Richardson Hitchens. He's in a final eliminator for the IBF. You know, if he's out of the way, you could find yourself fighting Sandor Martin for the WBC World 140-pound title. Dalton Smith, I believe, beats Sandor Martin. Styles make fights. He's very good, Sandor. He's very tricky. But I just fancy that fight for Dalton Smith. You imagine getting a piece of that division with Teofimo, with Devin, with Ryan, with Tank, with all those guys. Like, it's the best division in boxing right now, the 140s. And we've got loads of them. Subriel Matias, you know, might be the best of all of them. So this is a massive fight for Dalton. And well, one of the reasons I like it, and in a smaller way, it's a little bit like, you know, Campbell Hatton, where you've had your apprenticeship, and now we're going to find out. What we're finding out about Campbell is whether he's ready to step up and go to English titles, and what we're finding about Dalton is whether he's world class. And that's where it gets exciting. You know, someone, I won't say who, but someone messaged me saying, I'm a bit worried about this fight. It's a really tough fight for Dalton. And I just replied, good. Like, what do we want? I don't understand. You know, we've got to really get away from this mentality of, oh, it's a dangerous fight. Yes, dangerous fight equals exciting. Dangerous fight equals bums on seats. Dangerous fights means tuning into the zone and being excited for the ring walks when they step into the ring. Not, oh, we know the result. And no fight on this undercard is a formality. You know, there's an argument that all of them are 50-50s, and I guarantee you the home corner will not win all fights on Saturday night.
Eddie, you're talking about world titles and Sandor Martin, but we know Dalton wanted to fight for that European title, which Adam DAZN won. What are your thoughts on the current situation? We know the purse bids are coming up soon too.
Yeah, we've already been told by a boxer that Adam DAZN is not fighting Dalton Smith next. I mean, I don't know what they're hanging around for and wasting their time, because it's start getting really embarrassing, especially if Dalton wins on Saturday and that question comes up, because then the world's watching and then you've got to pull out after that. So I probably expect him to pull out before Saturday. But if we win on Saturday, we're miles ahead of Adam DAZN, but we'd still take a step back and fight him, because it's a big fight. You know, it's a big domestic fight. Adam DAZN is a great talent, but I think if Dalton beats Zepeda, they just won't want to fight him yet in his career. By the way, that's no criticism. I think they're doing the right thing, because I think he gets beat by Dalton Smith, and in time he's going to improve, and he's still learning. But if you talk it up and you tell him you're ready for Keyshawn Davis and Dalton Smith and all these guys, then you've got to walk the walk. But as we know in boxing, there's a lot of waffle, and they're just not ready for Dalton Smith. If he wins, listen, he might scrape a decision, he might get dropped, they might see a weakness in Dalton Smith, but if he comes through in style on Saturday night, there is no way Adam DAZN will go anywhere near Dalton Smith next, because it would be a disaster for him, because he's going to build nicely, but both these guys, like Dalton's never boxed anywhere near the levels of Jose Zepeda. Adam DAZN has never boxed anywhere near the levels of Jose Zepeda. They wouldn't fight Jose Zepeda, Adam DAZN, because he gets hit a lot as well. So that's where it's dangerous. You cannot get hit against Jose Zepeda. I'm telling you, it's going to put a big dent in.
Eddie, when you look at the fights you've been making with Frank Warren and Queensberry, the fights that the fans want to see, how does that transcend to you, making fights in-house, great fights that the fans want to see, like Sandy Ryan against Terry Harper?
Yeah, I don't like it, because it's like, Boxing News asked me the question earlier, where it's like your predictor for the night, and all of a sudden they go Sandy Ryan against Terry Harper. It's like, you're always going to upset someone. Someone's going to think you favoured someone. You're in the changing room before the fight longer. You clapped once in the fight, or when you spoke in the post-fight interview, you look really happy. Like you can't win. For this, it's just two great ambassadors for female boxing who are rolling the dice to move on to the bigger mega nights in boxing.
Who do you think is favourite in that fight?
I mean, there's so many ways to break it down. I think on paper, because of Sandy's performance against McCaskill, where I feel like she was robbed in that fight, definitely. Because of the momentum that she has, you could argue she's favourite. At the same time, Terry's been in much deeper experiences over championship level. I think coming down to 147 will really suit her. I like the way she spoke. That's the first time I've ever heard her engage in back and forth and not look, she's never going to come out and start banging the table.
She held her own.
Didn't look nervous.
She held her own.
Didn't look nervous, and she's always been quite a nervous person. She talked about the work that she feels she's done mentally in this camp, and I feel like she's going to leave that press. Sandy won't care. Sandy's like dialed in, switched on. She won't care what's said up there. But for Terry, will take confidence from that exchange. I know it might be irrelevant on the night, but if you do have frailties mentally, and all of a sudden you've overcome that, and all of a sudden you start believing in yourself a little bit more, I think it's a 50-50 fight. I think that I presume that Terry is going to try and mix it up in and out of range. Get in there, do her work, get off, get on her bike again. A little bit like she did against Hannah Rankin, because Hannah Rankin was so much bigger. And Sandy, presumably, will be walking her down, trying to stop her. A lot of people, I think, when they fight Terry Harper, look at the Baumgardner fight and think that there are frailties, about her durability and her ability to take shots. I'm not so sure.
I think that was weight related, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But I think that when you get stopped like that, sometimes, if you are a little bit frail mentally, it can take longer to overcome. It sounds like she's in a great place. And for Sandy, Terry's right. You leave your team, you leave your manager, you leave your trainer, you go to a new camp. Does it all click on the first fight? That are you better? Are you worse? I don't know. I mean, it's a big move to leave home and go and train in Vegas for 12 weeks.
Yeah.
She might be twice as good. but
I'm unsure about if it's a good time to fight her or not. You look at Sandy when she lost to Erica Farias and then revenges that straight after. You think, well, hold on a minute. So yeah, I don't know. I'm intrigued by this one. I'm with you. I think it's a real 50-50.
Do you expect Sandy to walk her down
That's
continuously?
the thing with me. I feel Terry may have more strings to her bow. She can adapt. Well, I agree. I think Sandy 100% centre of the ring and try and walk Terry down, whereas I think Terry can do a bit of both.
I mean, when she did that against Farias, she come unstuck a little bit because Farias did that and then boxed and moved. And I think Terry will be looking at fights like that. Actually, in the rematch of that fight, Sandy Ryan did the opposite, where she stood in the pocket briefly, then moved, boxed her off the back foot. I think that's what Terry has to do. But I think it'll be a great fight. I think a very, very, very close fight.
And just what you said there about strings to your bow, I think we'll see more of Terry's natural ability and assets coming through at 147. I don't think she should have been at 154.
I see an interview with Terry saying this is the weight when she was coming down that she felt best at, you know, in the gym, sparring, etc. And I sometimes think there's something in that. You know, there's this big thing, you've got to be big at the weight, and you take a lot of your attributes away by boiling down to the weight. So I think if she's at her ideal optimum weight,
Mad to think that, I mean, when she's at 154 and she has to really eat her way up there to even weigh 154, she's 24 pounds above
difference.
her first world championship weight.
Crazy.
This time even 17 pounds. You said to her now you've got to get down to 140. It would be a mission, you know, but at 147, I mean, really, Sandy is arguably a 140 as well, but a big, big 140. So I think 140 is actually the perfect weight for Terry, but 147 going to feel a lot sharper on her feet, because I think sometimes you look at fighters like Maya, who have come up the weights, even Terry at 154, just sometimes look a little bit sluggish. And I think she'll have that little bit extra sharpness down at 147 or 145 or whatever she'll be on Friday.
We know one thing that is good, lads. We're all going to find out on Saturday right here on DAZN. As I keep saying, the action does not stop here in Sheffield this weekend. What about this fight? April 20th. Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia.
We had great fights in the amateur, no doubt. We need to fight. Hey, we're good fighters. Let's fight.
Live on DAZN Worldwide, April 20th, Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia.
These two have been going back and forth since the amateur days.
Two generational talents, the world at their feet.
Let's make the fight happen now.
This one is going to be a grudge match.
Set to ignite. Devin the Dream Haney, living the dream. Multiple world champion, undefeated.
I am the man. It's time for me to show the world how great I really am.
Ryan Garcia, lightning fast, explosive, unmissable, going all in.
This is the year I shocked the world.
A world championship is on the line, but only one can wear the crown.
This is something that comes along every now and then in generation. I'm telling you, it's special.
This one counts. Live on DAZN Worldwide, April 20th.
You want the real fight? You can fight me.
So much to look forward to, Darren. It's almost like when you look at the schedule, I'm sure when you were sitting ringside in Riyadh, I remember you turned around and you winked at me and you were buzzing. Like the fan in you truly comes out. We're pretty lucky we get to travel around and watch fights like
100%.
Garcia.
I left you a message, didn't I? Just yesterday about soaking this all up and just because we are really living the dream. You've got to remember, I was this big boxing. You know, this is everything to me. So I never take it for granted. But yeah, the schedule is fantastic, unrivaled, and I'm not just saying that. You can't look at that and think there's better out there. There isn't.
Well, join us tomorrow as the fighters will face the scales and face each other for the final time, the weigh-in. Myself and Darragh Barker will be floating around on the stage once again, grabbing a few interviews with just about everyone we can. We'll see you tomorrow for the weigh-in. Thanks for joining us.
New look, same great taste. Pepsi Max, thirsty for more.
We love potatoes. So you can love Walkers. Walkers, Britain's most loved crisps.
Did you want one, love?
In Paris, 2 tips of a mustache hangs sadly, for the artist's great work was going so badly. But thankfully, his muse had a Red Bull to lend. And the artist's great torture met the finest end.